Hi, welcome back to another Bookbinding Basics part. It's gonna be a sort of a short video and really just kind of a tip video. Now down here you're gonna see that I've got a number of old books that I've got hanging around that I made ages and ages ago. Some stuff you'll recognize and some stuff you'll be seeing for the first time ever. Now, what I wanted to go over is that you should, not only should you make a book dummy when you're going to create a finished product, just so that you can kind of shake the cobwebs out and get your hands loose and make the mistakes on that one, so that when you go to something that's a bit more of a final, you're kind of warmed up and loose and ready to go, right? A book dummy, it is what it sounds like. Now, something that you'll recognize is when I was working out how to do a field note style notebook, and you'll see that I made a dummy. I didn't even bind it, I just kind of stapled it, whatever, just to put it together. I have the measurements, that I have everything, just so that I can keep this should I ever want to go back and make another one in like a year, and I'm like, what size was it, whatever. I don't have to go searching for that. I know that I have a book dummy for it ready to go. The same with what I used to use as my little calendar. It is the one-page notebook with one single page. Now you'll see that I have it done so that I know where my cover would be, and this is sort of so that I know how it's printed and how it's folded. And you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just so that I know how this comes together and folds together, and if I wanted to print anything, how it would be printed. Now, in looking at my old books, it was great to find a sort of a naked case bind. Now this one's it's a little ratty. It's, I don't know how many years old, but I remember intentionally leaving this like this so that I would know how to do a case bind in case I needed to come back, and left it for a long time and wanted to come back to see what it looked like. I can get a sense of how it needs to come together, how these connections are, how these binds are, how these stitchings are. So it's good to sort of keep versions that you don't care about them, but you don't really care about, so that you can reference them later. Now these are artist books that I did way back when. Here is a slit bind, of which I will get into soon, but trust me, there is no way I would remember how to do this without having this one readily available. I'm being kind of silly, like some people can just remember these, but I haven't done this one in so long, I'm gonna need to remember a starting point. The same with like a concertina bind here. Very simple bind, really, in essence, If you know how to do a pamphlet stitch, then you know how to do a concertina, because it's essentially a bunch of pamphlet stitches stitched together on an accordion kind of cover. I know how to do that because I know how to do this, and you see how they sort of ramp up, and you see why I've sort of started with the basics, and I'll start to ramp up to stuff like this that looks really kind of impressive and sometimes intimidating, but they're actually kind of simple. Yeah, I even made like teeny tiny one staple bound little teeny tiny notebooks. Now these are just little artist books, but this would be a one staple saddle, saddle stitch. Now I was very, very, very happy to find this, and this is a prime example of me holding on to not only a finished product, but the dummy. I mean, I definitely could pull this apart and figure out how to make this, but it's always really good to have this, and it's just a simple book dummy. And this is a book made out of one sheet of paper. Look at that. I'm gonna show you how to do this in an upcoming video, because I forgot this totally existed. You see how weird it is, especially if you want to print something, how you have to like divvy up your pages. Again, these are all little artist books. But that's how you do something like this, and you end up with something really cool. It ends up doing really cool things. Same thing with the 18-page book is also made out of one sheet of paper, and I will show you how to do that in another video. But if I did not have this dummy, I would have completely forgotten that this even existed, but then also, like, now I know where my cuts need to be. Utilize book dummies. That's my point. Thanks so much for watching. Roll the thing.